Hi, and it's great to be back again after that gap of about a week. Thanks for being so patient. So this is day 22 of 30 days of Photoshop with me, Kevin Aronson from Hampshire School of Photography. Yes! 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 I thought we'd kick off with some cool stuff. For the next 3 days, we're going to be spending our time in Liquify. So this is Hannah. She's a local model and she's worked with me on a number of occasions. And I'm going to send her to the Liquify environment by clicking on Filter, selecting Liquify, which will open up the dialog box for Liquify. We have tools down here on the left hand side, and we have some properties and additional sliders and controls on this side. But today all we are going to look at is the most popular tool in Liquify, which is the forward warp tool, or W for short. It's called forward warp because as you drag it across the image, it warps it in a forward direction. If I dragged it the other way, it forwards it in that direction. Whichever direction I drag it, let's go up, it drags it in that direction. That is the forward warp. Let me just click on Restore All to bring that back to normal. Useful little button that. Now, when you start using the forward warp tool, I'm using a Wacom tablet and pen here, which has the ability to control the size with the pressure of the stylus. I'm just going to switch that off so now it behaves more like a mouse. And I'm now able to control a number of elements through these sliders at the top. So I can control the size, but I don't want to, because a sensible way to work would be to have one hand on the mouse and the other hand on your keyboard so that you can hit the shortcut keys. And to control the brush, as I've said, it's the square bracket keys to make it smaller, go left, to make it bigger, hit right. What about density and pressure? Alright, let me show you the difference. Density. So the pen is about the size of the eye, roughly. I'm just going to draw it up. There we go. That's what a mouse would do with no additional pressure from a pressure sensitive tablet. That's what density does. If I move the density up to maximum, which is 100, and do the same to the other eye. So what's happening with density is the density is if it's the volume that you're dragging with you. When density is set down at a small level, you only drag a small amount of the face, the image with you. When it's set to a high amount, you drag much larger amounts. So the effect is more dramatic. Sorry. Poor Hannah. She's a beautiful lady with one of the best naturally soft blemish-free skins I've ever come across. Let's restore that. So why would you want... so pressure. What's pressure then? So if density is adjusting the amount you drag in terms of, do you want a big amount to be moving and a huge manipulation of the image? Or do you want a small amount where it's just... it's there, but it kind of a bit more controlled. So that's density. Let's restore that. What's pressure? Pressure is controlling how strong your brush strokes are. So it's a bit like me having the stylus pressure turned on for my mouse. I can control the brush stroke pressure by this slider. So if I have it set to 1, I suspect you're not even going to see any movement. Let's zoom in. I'm just going to press Command plus to zoom in. So now if I try and make an adjustment here with the pressure set of 1, I'm not even sure. I can just about make out a small amount of movement. What happens if I go to 2? Small amount, but slightly more noticeable than 1. What happens if I go to 5? Yes, definitely more movement. And if I go to 10, I think we can all see that with no problems whatsoever. If I went to 50 or thereabouts, 56 there, then we're seeing a lot of movement, and at 100 it just goes crazy. So this is about controlling the sensitivity of your mouse. At 1, the amount of image that's being moved is infinitesimally small. It does mean you can make lots of small movements to build up the effect gradually. If you want to be dramatic, you just increase that slider. So that's about sensitivity. This is all about quantity, and that's all about size. Rate doesn't apply to the tool we're working with the forward warp tool. Okay, so you've made this adjustment now, but let's say you've actually made this adjustment to the eye and you've made a really bad eye. It just doesn't look very good, does it? Doesn't look natural. Well, some great tools up here. These tools here, just below the forward warp tool, if you hold your mouse and hover it over, the first one says reconstruct tool and the second one is smooth. Let's look at the reconstruct tool first of all. Let's say that you think to yourself, the top one's pretty cool, but actually I wish I'd left the bottom one alone. As you paint over it, it restores it back with each subsequent brush, each stroke of your brush to where it was. And I could do it with the top one as well, but I'm not going to. I'm going to hit undo a couple of times there. So reconstruct, this one here, is all about taking it back to where it was in case you make a mistake. The one beneath it, smooth, oh, this is so cool. So if your adjustments aren't very subtle, by dragging this over, it smooths out the inconsistencies. So let's try a real world situation. Let's just zoom in on the mouth. All right. Let's say you really would like, we need the forward warp tool. We would like to see a bit more teeth, so we drag the lip down. All right. And maybe you want the lips to be a bit more whatever. And you're dragging this out, and you're not being very clever. Maybe you'd be distracted by an interruption, and in anything. Oh gosh, that looks terrible. So now we can go to the smooth tool and just smooth out any dents in your stretching, because it is quite easy to stretch and not quite get it smooth enough. So the smooth tool gets rid of those, and it will also get rid of any dents there as well. Just try, look at that, isn't that great? And if you think, oh, maybe that lip's too, let's take it back, maybe that lip's too big, I'll actually reconstruct it. So I'm now clicking on the reconstruct button, and as I'm painting it, it's reducing it back to where it was. We can probably do it with the top one as well. There we go. So, an introduction to the forward warp tool, an understanding about the reconstruct tool, and also the smooth tool. Gonna leave it there for now. We'll come back tomorrow for some more of Liquify. You gotta love Liquify. You really got to love Liquify. It is so much fun. The next 3 days are all about Liquify. So today was the introduction. Tomorrow, day 2, going to go a bit deeper. And then day 3, got that right. 3, remember 3, 2, 1? I can't. TV program 3, 2. No, anyway, day 3, you're going to go somewhere completely different within Liquify and just take you into an area which you probably have never explored, and maybe some of you didn't even know it was there, or maybe it just looked too complicated. But this is a fun area. Much of Photoshop can be quite technical, but this is a fun area, and you can play around and make some really silly pictures, which is, you need a light relief sometime. If you'd like to see the full 30 days of Photoshop, then please check out this web address, phototeacher.blog. That's where I put my teaching weekly, posting there. And then if you want to find out about our workshops, and these are proper workshops at our training centre in Fleet in North Hampshire, where we don't just teach about Photoshop and Lightroom, but we also have a lot of courses, a lot of workshops on photography, single day workshops running over a few days. There are a couple which even run over the course of a year for those who are really serious. So check out our website for that, which is gohsp.com. HSP stands for Hampshire School of Photography. And perhaps I'll get to meet you guys on a future workshop. Thanks for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.